Welcome to the September 26, 2023 meeting of the Administration and Public Works Committee. May we have a roll call?
Councilmember Burns. Councilmember Reed.
Here.
Councilmember Kelly.
Here.
Councilmember Harris. Councilmember Newsma.
Here.
With the quorum being present, we are ready to begin our work. So I call this meeting to order. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of our September 11th meeting? Moved by Councilmember Newsma, seconded by Councilmember Kelly. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, any abstentions? The ayes have it. That brings us to public comment. First on the list is Mr. Muhammad for a non-agenda item. You have 2 minutes. And you're looking dapper today.
It's sad that I had to keep coming here to try and express to the city council what's going on with me, and nobody wants to get to the root cause. Now, you dropped me off at a safe haven without giving me any knowledge of the fact of where I was going and how anything. And so now I'm over there at a safe haven trying to figure out how y'all got me over there, okay? And then I look in the newspaper and I look online and find out that the complaining witness in my assault charge case, after they threw feces on me on Father's Day and Juneteenth, where the police, all 9 of them, refused to take my complaint and took the complaint of the complaining witness. Who is in the newspaper showing that y'all made me disappear? And so I don't appreciate just being disappeared, because I'm an Evanston resident now since I joined Connections for the Homeless. My address is 2121 Dewey. Okay, and nobody knows about the CHA and how they trying to terminate my HVAC, and I've been homeless for almost a year now. Nobody wants to get to the root cause of that and have the sheriffs serve some guy that wasn't me twice at the same time. Nobody wants to get to the root problem of what's going on with me. I heard about y'all had reparations. Now, y'all gonna repair me?
Thank you. The next person is Mike Vasilko, but I don't think Mr. Vasilko is online, so we're going to have someone read his public comment. You have 2 minutes.
Mr. Vasilko asks that we read his public comments. He says, why is Burke Engineering being given more work in Evanston? Burke Engineering has not provided the Fountain Square explanation report for their failure of the engineering construction management services that was requested in June of this year, a request voted on by committee members. Why hasn't staff delivered the Burke explanation to council members as agreed to in June? Why is the funding for this item, A5, referring to 2023 general obligation bonds? And this is highlighted and in all caps. There are no 2023 GO bonds approved by council. A7, the purchase of more gas-guzzling trucks and motorcycles. I repeat again that staff continue to demonstrate that they are climate change deniers. Why again is the funding for this item referencing 2024 funding that has not been approved by City Council? This is also highlighted and in capital letters. There is no 2024 budget yet. You can't spend money that has not been approved by council. Finally, A9, approval of non-union employee wage increases. Who exactly is this item referring to? Administrators or staff that actually do work? Thank you.
Thank you for sharing Mr. Vasilko's words. With that, is there any further public comment? Seeing none, that brings us to the consent calendar. Are there any items that are going to be removed? Item A5, Councilmember Kelly.
A1.
A1, Councilmember Newsma. Councilmember Kelly. I just want to make sure you're looking at the right agenda.
A9.
Item A9, Councilmember Kelly. Anything else? Seeing nothing else, I have a motion for the consent agenda minus items A1, A5, and A9.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilmember Harris, seconded, I want to add Councilmember Harris to the roll. Councilmember Harris is present. Moved by Councilmember Harris, seconded by Councilmember Nusma. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, any abstentions? The ayes have it. That brings us to item A1, approval of the City of Evanston payroll, bills list, and credit card activity. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Harris, seconded by Councilmember Kelly. Councilmember Nusma.
I will be abstaining.
All right. For the reason you've listed before.
I will be abstaining. My wife's employer is on the bills list for a non-trivial amount.
Yes, all right. With that, all those in favor of item A1, say aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions?
Abstain.
Any nays? The ayes have it, albeit just one. That brings us to item A5, approval of contract with Christopher B. Burke Engineering for 2024 alley survey services. Moved by
I will make the motion
Councilmember-
on item A5.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Nusma, seconded by Councilmember Harris. Councilmember Kelly.
Thank you. So I guess I wanted to, in June, we voted to direct staff to get from Burke a statement directly from them, an explanation regarding their oversight of Fountain Square. And I think we haven't received that yet. I don't want to hold this up, but I know, I mean, it's axiomatic that I and residents would want some accountability on that directly from the consultant. I know, you can both offer explanations, but we did vote to direct staff to get directly from Burke an explanation, a written explanation to council about what went awry in terms of their oversight as the consultants that were hired for nearly $1 million for the oversight of Fountain Square. So is Councilmember Burns on? I think this item mostly applies to the Fifth Ward. Is that
I
right?
spoke with Councilmember Burns a bit ago. I see that Ms. Biggs, Chief Engineer Biggs, is stepping to the podium.
Well, my name is Laura Biggs. I'm the city engineer. So my understanding is that statement was supplied by Burke and distributed or discussed with city council in executive session because it relates to an ongoing litigation.
Okay, I checked with other council members. I haven't seen it, and if you could forward it to us again, because I was not able to access that
I
written
will
explanation.
discuss with the city corporation council about discussing that in executive session.
Okay, but if you could give us the written so we can read it over, that would be great. That's what we voted for, a written explanation. How many contracts since Fountain Square have we, including this one, will we have awarded to Burke?
That is something that I would have to, obviously, I don't know that off the top of my head, but I could certainly look at that information and provide that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Seeing no further questions,
I just want to get
Councilmember
a
Kelly.
confirmation, I'm sorry, that we will get a written explanation directly from Burke. I haven't seen it, so if it's been provided, if you could please send it again. I mean, that is what we voted on here in APW.
Good evening, Deputy City Manager Stoneback. Corporation Counsel has decided it's not appropriate, I believe, to provide the written response, and that's why it was discussed at exec session. So Corporation Counsel, as this is an ongoing litigation matter, made the determination not to distribute the letter, but to discuss it at exec session.
Okay, but we asked for a direct, then Burke, I asked that they come to executive session, because that's what we requested. We requested firstly in written form, and if not, that they discuss with us directly in executive session. Neither has happened, so.
just a point of information. As a council member, I understand Corporation Counsel's concern, maybe not to distribute it, but certainly if Councilmember Kelly wants to go to the law office and view the document, then that should be well within her rights as a council member.
That would be great. Again, I think it's obvious why, myself being the first ward alderman and residents would like some accountability on this. So I will plan to do that, but again, what we voted on was for a direct statement written or in executive session directly from Burke. So to date, we still haven't received that.
Thank you. Seeing no further questions or comments, we have a vote on item A5. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, any abstentions? The ayes have it. That brings us to item A9, approval of proposed wage increases for non-union employees, moved by
So moved.
Councilmember Nusma, seconded by Councilmember Harris. Councilmember Kelly.
Thank you. I guess the only the only aspect of this that I would like to see, I'm not going to hold this up, but like comparables with other cities would be great if we could, going forward, with regard to these exempt employees, have some sort of relative comparison to like comparables with other surrounding suburbs. That would be great. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no further questions on this item, I actually have one. I'm curious what the process is for arriving at this number. Was there a negotiation with, I mean, they're non-union staff, so, but how did we land at this number?
Good evening, Chair, members of the APW Committee, Luke Stowe, City Manager. Historically, our process is to complete the ASME contract negotiations, and typically what ASME received is also what we would generally extend to non-union employees. There's obviously exceptions, but that's how we arrived at the 8% figure. Non-union workers received a 3% increase January 1st, so we backed out the 3% from the 11% to arrive at 8%.
Thank you. That's very helpful. All right, seeing no further questions, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, any abstentions? That is the conclusion of our agenda unless there are items for discussion. Seeing no items for discussion, with no further business before us, I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you. Council will start at 5:45.